Have you ever wondered why we are often overwhelmed by the vicissitudes of life, even knowing that they can harm our well-being? Why do these harmful practices and habits manage to infiltrate so deeply into our being, bringing a constant internal battle between what we desire and what we actually do? This dissonance often leaves us anxious and frustrated. Vices and self-destructive behaviors frequently offer momentary gratification, a brief relief that masks the long-term negative consequences. Recognizing this dynamic is the first step towards developing healthier coping strategies and eventually liberating ourselves from these chains that limit our full potential and happiness. Now, if you are new here, please like the video and subscribe. Statistics show that only 15% of my audience is subscribed to the channel, so if this content has helped you in any way, I ask you to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now, let's start this transformative journey together. Today, I invite you to explore Stoicism, a robust philosophy originating in ancient Greece, which offers us a safe harbor against the internal storms caused by these challenges. This philosophy not only reveals the deep roots of our dependencies but also arms us with effective strategies to transcend them. We will delve into 12 to 15 fundamental Stoic principles that promise to transform our internal struggles into foundations for a balanced and purposeful life. Invest in yourself and discover how ancient wisdom can be applied to overcome modern vicissitudes. Join us on this journey of self-discovery and renewal as we seek not only to understand but also to master the forces that challenge our tranquility and autonomy. Together, we will learn to navigate these turbulent waters and reclaim a life marked not by submission to vices, but by the freedom of self-control and the peace of an aligned spirit. Lesson 1. Understand what is within your control. In Stoicism, understanding what is within our control and what is not is fundamental when dealing with vicissitudes such as vices in gambling, tobacco, or alcohol. Many of the consequences of these actions, such as financial losses, physical and mental health damage, and repercussions on social and professional relationships, are beyond our direct control. The outcome of a bet, the body's response to harmful substances, or how others react to our choices are all elements we cannot effectively manage. However, what is within our control is the decision to participate in these activities or not. We can choose to seek help, decide to walk down another street to avoid the bar where we used to drink, or stop frequenting environments that encourage gambling. This discernment is vital because it shifts our mental energy from a futile attempt to control the uncontrollable to the strengthening of our own will. Reflecting on this distinction also helps us better understand the nature of our actions and the motivations behind them. By practicing self-analysis and asking ourselves why we choose to engage in certain behaviors, we begin to uncover the patterns that sustain our vices. This practice not only enhances our self-awareness but also reinforces our determination to act in accordance with our true values. Therefore, investing in yourself involves recognizing and embracing the power you have over your choices. By doing so, you not only empower yourself to deal more effectively with challenges but also position yourself to live a fuller and more meaningful life aligned with the Stoic teachings of autonomy and resilience. Lesson 2. Know yourself. The Socratic maxim, "Know thyself," is a central pillar of Stoic philosophy and a vital guide for those seeking to overcome any form of vice. This principle encourages us to engage in deep introspection to identify not only our vulnerabilities but also our strengths. By understanding the circumstances or emotions that trigger compulsive behaviors, such as seeking immediate relief or escape, we can begin to chart a more conscious and deliberate course of action. This self-knowledge is crucial because it allows us to anticipate risky situations and arm ourselves with proactive strategies. For example, if we recognize that loneliness leads us to destructive behaviors, we can seek companionship or engage in activities that fill that void in a healthy way. Similarly, If anxiety drives us to seek relief in harmful practices, we can invest in relaxation and meditation techniques. Stoic philosophy teaches us that by knowing ourselves, we are not only better able to face adversities but also more capable of cultivating virtues that strengthen our resilience. This intimate knowledge of our own motivations and weaknesses is the key to shaping a life that not only avoids vice but is also rich in contentment and meaning. Thus, investing in yourself begins with a commitment to knowing yourself deeply and using that knowledge to orchestrate a more virtuous and intentional existence. Lesson 3. Accept impermanence. In Stoic philosophy, the acceptance of impermanence is fundamental to achieving serenity and resilience in the face of life's ups and downs. This principle is especially relevant when dealing with vices. The pleasures derived from harmful habits, such as the momentary relief provided by alcohol or the adrenaline from gambling, are inherently ephemeral. These moments of satisfaction are fleeting and often leave a trail of lasting and harmful consequences that can profoundly affect our health and well-being. Understanding and internalizing the transient nature of these pleasures can be a powerful motivator to seek more sustainable and beneficial alternatives. When we recognize that true happiness cannot be found in substances or behaviors that harm us in the long run, we begin to devalue these fleeting choices in favor of activities that cultivate genuine well-being and lasting satisfaction. This process of reevaluation invites us to explore new sources of joy and contentment that align with our deeper values and sense of purpose. It could be developing healthy relationships, engaging in enriching hobbies, or dedicating ourselves to personal and professional projects that bring a true sense of accomplishment. Therefore, accepting impermanence is not just resigning to the transience of life, but an opportunity to align our actions with what is truly enduring and valuable. By doing so, investing in yourself becomes a practice of investing in your long-term health and happiness, choosing paths that lead to a fuller and more meaningful life. Lesson 4. Practice self-sufficiency. Epicurus, one of the most notable Stoic philosophers, advocated the idea that true happiness and contentment come from within and not from external circumstances. This notion of self-sufficiency is crucial in the context of vices, whether in substances like alcohol and tobacco or behaviors like gambling. Relying on these external elements to feel good or happy is a trap that only leads to dissatisfaction and dependence, as these sources of pleasure are inherently unstable and uncontrollable. Practicing self-sufficiency involves developing internal resources that can sustain the individual regardless of external situations. This may include cultivating a resilient mind through meditation, engaging in physical activities that strengthen the body and spirit, and investing time in hobbies and passions that enrich life meaningfully. Such practices not only improve self-esteem and self-worth but also reduce the need to seek satisfaction from harmful sources. Additionally, by strengthening emotional and psychological autonomy, the individual becomes less vulnerable to fluctuations in external circumstances. This does not mean that challenges or difficult moments will no longer affect the person, but rather that they will be better equipped to deal with these moments without resorting to destructive behaviors. Investing in yourself in this context is an invitation to invest in your ability to be self-sufficient. This investment implies a continuous dedication to self-development and self-education, elements that are essential for a full and truly independent life. By embracing self-sufficiency, you not only protect yourself from the dangers of vices but also pave the way for a richer and more authentically happy existence. Lesson 5. Reflect on your motivations. Stoic philosophy encourages us to constantly question our motivations and the real necessity of our actions. This critical questioning is particularly valuable when it comes to facing vices, whether they involve substances like alcohol and tobacco or compulsive behaviors like gambling. By asking yourself, is this essential? Does this make me a better person? You begin to discern the true reasons behind your choices and may discover that many of them are not as fundamental as they seemed. This process of reflection helps illuminate the futility of many vices. For example, you may realize that the desire to smoke a cigarette arises more from the need to quickly manage stress, albeit in a harmful way, than from a real need to smoke. Similarly, the attraction to gambling is often fueled by the illusion of quick and easy gain, ignoring the risks and losses associated with it, which are actually much more significant. Exploring these motivations can therefore help reduce the impulse to give in to these habits by bringing to consciousness the long-term negative consequences and the little real benefit they bring. This self-examination also fosters the development of healthier coping strategies, such as finding alternative methods to manage stress or anxiety that do not involve harmful substances or behaviors. Additionally, reflecting on your motivations allows you to align your actions with your broader life values and goals. This not only strengthens resilience against vices but also promotes a sense of fulfillment and well-being that comes from living in accordance with your principles. Investing in yourself here means committing to continuous examination and ensuring that each action contributes to building a stronger and more virtuous self. Lesson 6. Use adversity to your advantage. Seneca, one of the most prominent Stoic philosophers, taught that adversity should not be seen merely as an obstacle but as an essential opportunity for personal development and character strengthening. Every challenge we face, every temptation to give in to unbridled vice, is a chance to practice virtue and build resilience. Facing these difficulties as small battles to be won can transform our perception of vice itself. By resisting the temptation to smoke or drink, we are not just avoiding harmful actions, we are actively strengthening our ability to deal with greater challenges in the future. Each small victory in this journey is not only a step towards overcoming a harmful habit but also a reinforcement of our moral integrity and inner strength. This Stoic advice also encourages us to reflect on the lessons that each adversity can teach us. Instead of lamenting the difficulty of resisting a vice, we can seek to understand what each impulse tells us about our emotional and physical needs and how we can meet them in healthier and more constructive ways. Thus, adversity transforms from an enemy to a teacher. Investing in yourself in this context means recognizing and embracing each challenge as an opportunity to become a stronger, more conscious, and virtuous person. Through this process, we not only overcome our vices but also evolve as individuals ready to face life with greater confidence and balance. Lesson 7. Limit your passions. The Stoics, with their practical wisdom aimed at serenity and balance, always emphasized the importance of moderating our passions. They warn us that without control, passions can enslave us, dominating our reason and leading us to actions that we may later regret. Limiting our passions does not mean suppressing them altogether, rather, it involves cultivating a mindful awareness of what drives our desires and ensuring that we do not become overly attached to transient pleasures. For instance, by recognizing when our passions begin to lead us down a destructive path, whether it's the urge to indulge in excessive eating, drinking, or spending, we can take proactive steps to curb those impulses. This might include setting boundaries, creating healthy habits, or finding alternative outlets for our emotions. By practicing moderation, we empower ourselves to enjoy life's pleasures without being controlled by them. Ultimately, the Stoic approach teaches us that true fulfillment comes not from unbridled passion, but from a balanced life where we can appreciate joy and pleasure while maintaining our rational faculties. Investing in yourself means learning to discern which passions contribute positively to your life and which ones detract from your well-being. Conclusion. As we navigate the complexities of life and the challenges that come with it, the principles of Stoicism offer us invaluable tools for personal growth and resilience. By understanding what is within our control, knowing ourselves, accepting impermanence, practicing self-sufficiency, reflecting on our motivations, using adversity to our advantage, and limiting our passions, we can transform our relationship with vices and develop a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. Remember, this journey is ongoing. Each lesson we learn is a step toward reclaiming our autonomy and cultivating a life marked by tranquility and genuine happiness. Embrace the wisdom of Stoicism, and let it guide you toward a richer, more meaningful existence. Thank you for joining me on this transformative journey. Let's continue to grow together.